Hi all, welcome to another video of subject DC machines and transformers, and we are on module 3, and today we are going to discuss the Hopkinson test we are performing on DC motor. So as we know, this Hopkinson test is also called regenerative test, or it can be called as back-to-back test. It is written here. It is also called as back-to-back test. Okay, so here for Hopkinson test, it requires two machines which must be identical. Okay, so these machines are mechanically coupled and are so adjusted electrically that one of them acts as a motor and the other acts as a generator. Actually, the motor supplies the mechanical power which is utilized to drive the generator, while the generator develops electrical power to be utilized in driving the motor in addition to electrical power drawn from the supply mains. Okay, so actually this is the arrangement of the test setup. Here you can see two machines. One will act as a motor and another will act as a generator here. These two identical machines may be of any size, okay, and it can be tested under full load conditions. Under test, the power drawn from the supply, okay, power drawn from the supply mains will be that required to overcome the internal losses of these two machines, because the motor, okay, the motor gives the mechanical power input to this generator because the shafts are coupled together, and this generator generates the electrical power and it is fed back to the supply, and from the supply mains the motor will draw the same power here. Okay, so the additional power drawn from supply mains is only used to meet the internal losses of these two machines. So this method is economical when the large machines are to be tested on full load for longer duration. So here the machine acting as a motor is run up to full speed by means of a starting resistance, the main switch of the generator keeping open. So the second machine will therefore generate, and its voltage is adjusted equal to 1 or 2 volt more than this bus bar voltage and of the same polarity. So the adjustment is made by means of a paralleling voltmeter V, you can see here. The machine with smaller excitation will act as a motor, and the machine with a larger excitation acts as a generator here. During this test, the supply voltage is maintained constant at the rated value, and the test should be carried out at rated speed. Here the armature resistances of these two machines are measured at the end of the experiment when the windings have attained their final temperature by passing full load current through them at standstill. Okay, so here this is the arrangement. Here you can see around 5 ammeters we are using here, A1, A2, A3 and A4, A5. Here A1 is connected in the circuit to measure the line current IL, and this A2 is used to measure the motor current IM, and this A3 is used to measure the shunt field current, motor shunt field current ISHM. Okay, you can see here. And this one A4 is generated current, it will measure the generator current IG, and this A5 will measure the generator shunt field current ISHG. Okay, so this is the arrangement. And here we can find the efficiencies of this both motor and generator here. Okay, for that first we will apply a Kirchhoff's law. Okay, Kirchhoff's first law here, that is here you can see this is the IL and this is the IM, and IG is also flowing here. Okay, so by considering this node we can say that IL plus IG, okay, IL plus IG will be equal to this IM. Okay, so this is the equation here. Motor current IM will be equal to IL plus IG, and the motor input will be equal to V is the supply voltage here and IM is the current, so V into IM. Okay, and correspondingly the generator output will be equal to V into IG. Ig is the current. Okay, so V into Im, and the generator output will be equal to V into Ig. And if we are taking eta m and eta g as the efficiencies of both motor and generator respectively, and from that we can find the motor output. Motor input is V into Im and its efficiency is eta m. So we know that eta m will be equal to output by input. So the motor output will be equal to eta m into motor input. Okay, eta m into motor input. So the motor input is V into M and efficiency is eta m. So motor output will be equal to V into M into eta m. And correspondingly we can find the generator input. Okay, that is output by input equal to eta g. So generator input will be equal to output. Generator output is V into Ig. So V into Ig by eta g. This is the generator output. And we know that both the motor output and generator input will be the same. Okay, because they are coupled, so we can write it as V into Im eta m is equal to V into Ig by eta g. So from that, eta m and eta g will be equal to Ig by Im. Okay, Ig by Im. So assuming armature field and stray power losses in both of the machines equal, okay, we are considering that, we are assuming that, so we can take this eta m and eta g as equal. Okay, that is efficiencies of the both motor and generator, we are considering it as equal. So from this equation we can write eta m as root of Ig by Im. Okay, root of Ig by Im. Here it is division Ig by Im. Okay, root of Ig by Im, we will get eta m, and eta g is also equal to root Ig by Im. Okay, because they are equal. Okay, here you can see here root of Ig by M, and we can represent this equation with Ig and IL only, also with Im and IL only. Okay, by simply substituting the values here. Okay, so this is the efficiencies equation for both motor and generator. But this assumption will not cause any error in case of large machines, large motors, due to very slight differences in their armature and excitation current. But in the case of small machines, small motors, this difference between the armature currents and shunt field current will be large. Okay, and it is not good to make above assumption. Okay, so to obtain accurate result, armature and shunt field losses, that is copper losses. Okay, armature and shunt field copper losses we have to consider, we have to determine that, and separately, and stray losses are assumed to be equal in both machines. Okay, we have to consider the stray losses also. In the case of small machines, these values, that is stray losses, armature and field copper losses will have value there. Okay, we have to consider that also. Okay, so in the case of a small machines, the assumption is like this. Okay, we have to consider all the losses, and based on that we have to find the motor efficiency and as well as the generator efficiency. Okay, so here we know that the current drawn from the supply mains IL will be equal to Im minus Ig, because earlier we have seen that is Im is equal to IL plus Ig. Okay, from that we can write as IL is equal to Im minus Ig, and motor intake current is equal to Im, motor shunt field current is equal to ISHM, that we know, and motor armature current is this one, motor armature current, that is current flowing through the armature of the motor. Okay, so it will be equal to Im minus ISHM. Im is coming here and ISHM is going to the field here, so Im minus ISHM will get the armature motor armature current. Same as the generator armature current, we will get it as this Ig, this is going to the line, and the corresponding shunt field current is ISHG. So the armature current here will be Ig plus ISHG. So here the generator is generating the power, so Ig plus ISHG will be corresponding generator armature current. Okay, so we are considering that here, that is motor armature current is Im minus ISHM, and the generator armature current, you can see it is Ig by ISHG. Okay, and the busbar voltage is V, and the total loss of both the machines, okay, will be equal to power drawn from supply. We already discussed about that. That is, the power drawn from supply is only used for the internal loss of the machines. So we can write as V into IL. Okay, V into IL is the power drawn from supply, and the armature copper loss in motor So here the armature current is Im minus ISHM. So armature copper loss will be is equal to this current square, that is IAM square into corresponding armature resistance RIM. So Im minus ISHM all square into RIM. Armature copper loss in generator will be equal to Ig plus ISHG square. Okay, this is the current here, Ig plus ISG square into RIG, where RIG is being the generator armature resistance. Okay, and of course the shunt field copper loss, we will normally write the copper loss, shunt field copper loss as voltage across the shunt field into current flowing through that is V into ISHM here, and shunt field copper loss in generator will be equal to V into ISHG. Okay, so total copper losses, we can write the total copper loss as, this is the first copper loss, plus that is Im minus ISHM all square into RIM, plus Ig plus ISHG all square into RIG, plus V into ISHM plus V into ISHG. This is the total copper loss. And if you are ready, subtracting this total copper loss from overall loss, this overall loss is V into IL, we will get the stray power loss. So stray power loss PS is equal to V into IL minus all these copper loss. Okay, V into IL is the total loss of the machine, that is power drawn from supply, minus all total copper loss. Okay, from that we will get the stray power loss PS. Okay, so stray power loss of each machine will be equal to PS by 2. This is the overall stray power loss. We are using two machines, so for finding the stray power loss of each machine, it is PS by 2. Okay, and we can find the efficiency of motor like this, that is efficiency of motor is, motor intake is V into Im, and the total losses in motor, total loss in motor is equal to its armature loss, then field loss, then stray power loss. Okay, so armature loss is Im minus ISHM all square into RIM. This is the armature loss in motor, and field loss is V into ISHM, that is shunt field copper loss in motor is V into ISHM, plus stray power loss is PS by 2. Okay, this is by, okay, PS by 2, and motor output will be equal to motor intake is VIM minus its losses, so VIM minus its losses, we will get the motor output, and we already get the motor output and motor intake input. So motor efficiency can be calculated as output by input into 100. Okay, so likewise we can find the efficiency of the generator also. So the generator output is V into Ig. So the total loss in generator is equal to armature loss plus field loss plus stray loss. So here the armature loss is Ig plus ISG square into RIG, and field copper loss is V into ISHG plus stray loss is PS by 2. Okay, so the generator input we can calculate by adding this generator output plus all of these losses, we will get the generator input, and we can find the efficiency as eta G as output by input into 100. Okay, so likewise you can find the efficiency of both the motor and generator here. So the main advantage of this Hopkinson test is it is very economical, since power required is very small as compared to the full load power of the two machines. Okay, and also the efficiency is being determined under load conditions, so that the stray load loss is being taken into account. Okay, so these are the main advantages. And one of the main disadvantage of this test is the necessity of two practically identical machines to be available. That is the one of the main disadvantage of this test. I hope all of you understand the Hopkinson test well. So thank you all.